If you don't like that, you get beans and rice. You just flip-flop it, you know, put one on the left, one on the right, because like that's all you got.
You might go through hundreds of bullshit, but if you find that one thing, it was all worth it.
So I had got 4 packs of that, fucking like $600 a pack or whatever.
For real. I mean, in flower form, it's just, to me, it's still superior.
I met Doja Pack. He just looked at me. He's like, you know what, bro? If you find a fire ass keeper, like, you let me know, you know? And he fucking poured all the seeds in my jar, bro. 100 seeds.
Hey, what's up, First Smoke family? We're back, man. Today is First Smoke of the Day. It's your boy Pack in the building. Here with my co-host Black Leaf.
What up, what up?
And today we got a special guest in the building, man. We got Up the Hill exclusive for featured episode 3. What's good, homie? How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, happy to have you on.
Yes, sir.
We've been chopping it up for a minute. We got a review coming out with you guys as well.
Yeah.
And you guys are, you know, you're pushing.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can, man, for sure.
You're pushing. You're a hustler. You're a real hustler. So happy to get into your story. You got a lot of like different facets to what is behind you and you know, you're upcoming. And it's just dope, man. It's dope to see that you've been reaching out to me and him early on, supporting early on, and just ready to build alongside us. And that's what's dope, you know, and that's what we're all about is, you know, even value add and just rising up together. So we're happy to have you tonight.
Hell yeah, I appreciate the opportunity as well. You guys always respond to the DMs and shit, you know, it's cool showing the love back. Because, yeah, it just starts with the flower pics and whatnot. So I was like, man, this shit looks fire to me. I'm going to send it to them, bro. I've been hearing them talk all day. They act like they know the fire flowers, so they're going to like it too. And yeah, I mean, good reception for sure.
And hash flavors. Serious hash flavors.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first hash drop I've ever done. So for you to already be with it, you know, like the future is going to be dope.
Hell
like
yeah.
This, like the homie that washed this, like we pretty much started learning how to wash, like washing my trim, and like I would do a couple plants here, like I'll throw some plants on the side in the grow room and wash those type shit. And then this was the first time I was like, all right, we're gonna cut this whole row and like a couple of these lights, and we actually did a nice little pull, you know, and like he did his thing, bro, for sure. Like pretty much like we got all the right equipment, but compared to like, you know, some of these rooms pumping out similar quality, like we're roughing it out, and he threw down, as you can see. So like I'm proud of him on that aspect, but I definitely gave him some good starting product, so it wasn't too hard, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm interested to hear what up the hill means. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
up there, man. You know,
if you're in NorCal, bro, you can't go a couple days without hearing Up the Hill. You know, like if you're talking about going back to your spot or like going to shop or whatever, like, oh, I'm going up the hill, I'll talk to you later type. So it's like Up the Hill is just a common ass phrase. So like honestly, like for me to turn into a brand, like not gonna lie, I'm probably the first person who's on here is like, this is a full circle situation as far as my brand, like listening to you guys. Like I literally, when I got my first proofs from Sticker Farmer, when I was like creating my brand, I remember like DMing them to Blackleaf, like, yo, you got the wheels turning and shit. I've been listening to the podcast, and like I sent you the first proofs for like this box that I had. This was my first thing I ever did, was the QP box with the jars. And so like really listening to you guys is kind of what made this kind of happen in my brain, you know? So,
and we went back and forth about the design.
Yeah,
I think I told you, oh, I like this, I like that. You know, yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I love talking direct.
That's
with
crazy
people.
to hear.
Yeah, like this, this the first person on here who like, you know, without your guys' influence, like maybe this would have happened at a later date or something, bro. But I would not be in the position I'm at with like my brand and whatnot without like being able to get the wheels turning from y'all. So for sure, appreciate that.
People latch on the stories, and I'm glad some have inspired you, you know, to like get it going, make it happen. And it's what you're already doing, so you might as well, you know, make it pop and put a brand on it and take it serious. You know, I see you got the hat, you got the hoodie, got the gear, you got the product, you know, most important part, the flower, you know.
Yeah.
Talk about it though, you know, talk about coming up and what it was like for you. I know your dad's Brazilian. So that's pretty
so like
interesting.
I pretty much have like my own little unique like SoCal 90s baby kind of story. You know, I grew up out here in Orange County originally. I was born in like Lakeview, Kaiser, right there by Anaheim. So like I pretty much spent my whole life out here till I graduated high school in Southern California. So my dad, he was actually like part of that first wave of like Brazilians that came over that brung jujitsu and whatnot, and like kind of started the whole MMA wave and like turned that into all it was. So like my story is very much intertwined with like the very beginnings of like martial arts here in Southern California and whatnot. You know, my father opened from what I know of, it's the first, not Gracie school, but Carlson Gracie, like officially affiliated, like paying him money to like use his name and actually being one of his students, like the first Carlson Gracie studio in the United States, period. So that started in 1994. My dad opened it in Orange County. So Orange County is like the city of Orange. And so he was a Carlson Gracie black belt. And they came out here like in the 80s, early 90s, you know, when that shit was first starting to like come alive. And bro, like that shit, like he would always tell me the stories, like just a bunch of buffed out Brazilian dudes like speaking minimal English. He told me they'd all like go to LA and work out at Gold's Gym on the beach and shit. So like, I don't know, you could just imagine the type of savagery that was going on, bro. Like, you know.
And then go out to the beach and probably jujitsu the shit out of each other. I've seen a lot of dudes
it's like
in Brazil.
these group of dudes walk through, you're like, all that.
Yeah. Dude, and that Gold's Gym in Venice is like crazy. Like
Me and this dude went there before. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
there's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then there's like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu triple black belt.
My dad was like, a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. Like taught me how to like pose when I was a kid. We used to watch like Pumping Iron and shit, you know, like full like that era, bro. Like for sure, 100%.
Every weed dude I know who hits the gym had that poster of Arnold Schwarzenegger hitting the joint. You seen that famous one? He's got this famous one where he's like hitting a joint, and everybody I know had that like up, like, yo, right there, bro.
My dad wasn't really into the whole weed thing, you know. He was more like so my dad actually passed away from leukemia when I was 12. So that was like 2008. So pretty much my whole life, he was like super religious, you know, like super religious. Like that's kind of what he was about, and really instilled a lot of that into me. I'm not like super religious myself like anymore, but that's just kind of like the phase of his life that I knew him in, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, which was kind of good for me because he was older, you know, he's in his 40s when he passed away and whatnot. So literally my whole life that I knew him, he was like a grown ass adult with his shit together, you know, like a man ass man, like with a business and like a community. Like, it's like I didn't really have to go through the phases of like watching your dad do the young dumb shit, you know, which I'm sure happened. But so for me, I didn't really even, but he like, growing up as a kid, there was still like that era too, right before weed starts becoming super popular. Like weed wasn't like, oh, there's weed and then there's drugs. It's like there's dope, and it's like all encompassing, you know what I'm saying? And weed is dope. So it's like all together type shit is kind of like how I originally like heard about any drugs or weed or anything like that from like my dad and stuff, you know.
Where you came up in Orange County too, it's known for like jujitsu, it's known for mixed martial arts. Like there's a lot of badasses that come out of Orange County.
Yeah, bro, for sure. If you're walking around Orange County acting tough to people, you're a brave person. Because that ain't it. You know, the amount of UFC fighters and, you know, jujitsu people out here, like, and jujitsu people are unassuming, bro. Like, you know, they might be like 5'4" and like 130 pounds, but you don't want any of those issues.
Hell no.
So it's like, yeah, that's SoCal is definitely a huge spot for that too.
So did you train growing up as a kid then?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much since I could like run, you know, I could train. So that's how it was. Like I literally lived like my whole life in the studio. Like my dad was there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So he'd drop me off at school and then pick me up, and I was there all day, and then all day on the weekends, like. And my dad, like, which I'm grateful for, was like hella protective, bro. Like, not like the whole, like, yeah, I'm gonna go stay over at my friend's house. Like, the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna stay, like, you're not staying at your friend's house. I don't know who's gonna be there. Like, which, like, looking back on it, you know, it was hard to like have like normal friends type stuff, you know, when your dad is kind of like, you're a little bit sheltered, you know, like. But thinking back on it, like, the risk reward is like, bro, you need to keep your kids close, bro, for sure. Like, just the stories you hear and the weird shit, you know, like your kids at someone's house and then the family friend who's a total weirdo is over there and something weird happens, bro. one time, bro. And the kids like damn
life
near
will never be the same.
Never be the same, bro. So my dad took that seriously. Like, as far as when I was with my dad, you know, like there was not much like sleeping over people there, not once, you know what I mean? So he was pretty protective as far as that. So I was actually like pretty sheltered from like any sort of like weed stuff or anything like that, you know? Like I said, he was pretty religious as well.
Did he cook a lot of Brazilian stuff? Did he cook a lot, or was it mostly Americanized?
Bro, my dad was like fucking like a bachelor his whole life, you know?
Okay.
Like he'd cook a little for me here and there, but he was not like cooking, you know?
You're getting chicken and rice and
Bro,
shit. On a training diet.
Hell yeah.
A bodybuilder
Nah,
shit.
for sure. Like enough to go train and fucking.
Yeah.
I'd always see their stories because growing up in Brazil, he was like broke as shit, you know? So it was back in the day, it was fucking egg whites. And they have chickens. You know, our family used to own a farm right there. It's in a little town called Xerém in Rio de Janeiro. And so like they lived on a farm. And my dad said that his dad pretty much made like $1,000 a year. It was like the income, you know?
Yeah.
So, holy shit.
Yeah, like
basically
egg
grow,
whites.
yeah.
You literally
So
like,
$1 a
all right,
day.
what's coming out of these animals? Like, that's my nutrition, bro. Like,
$1 a day.
fuck.
Yeah. Everyone's got a garden, some
Rice
version
and
of a
beans,
garden.
bro,
Yeah.
and like some sort of protein. If you don't like that, you get beans and rice.
Yeah.
You just flip flop it, you know, put one on the left, one on the right, because like that's all you got.
So how old were you? You said your dad passed away from leukemia.
Yeah, I was.
You were 12?
I was either 12 or 13. I think I was 12, like about to turn 13.
And mom wasn't around, so that was that. That's everything.
Well, my mom's been around, but like my mom and dad just weren't together.
Okay.
But like pretty much my dad like fought super hard and got full custody of me when I was like right around like 6 or 7-ish. So then it was like mom's house like every other weekend type thing. So, you know, like my dad's super strict, but then my mom, bro, like she's not like able to keep up. Like she got 4 kids and, you know, like mostly single, like sometimes stepdad here and there, nothing like super consistent, you know? So it was like she couldn't do nothing. So when I would go there every 2 weeks, it was like chaos type thing, but you know. And then as soon as like I left my dad's, you know, just being hella sheltered, it was like full chaos right there as well. Like that's where like kind of like the weed situation starts to take a hold, you know?
Was that before your dad passed away or after?
You know, after my dad passed away, it had been like, I was in 7th grade and like that 7th grade summer to 8th grade was like my first time smoking weed. So it was this dude in Irvine, one of my classmates, fucking, I'm trying to remember his name. Daniel Myers, bro. So it's been long enough. Smoking out another kid ain't illegal. There's Daniel Myers and what's it called? We smoked some OG, bro. Like the first thing I ever smoked was like from what I remember, it was fire, bro. Like gassy nose and shit. Like SoCal spoiled like to the fullest, bro. Like OG the first time I ever smoked, and I remember just like that shit was awesome, bro. Just being high as fuck. Like, you know how some people say they don't get high the first time? Like I didn't have no issue like that at all. I vividly remember like sitting in this fool had like a massage chair. You know, it's like Irvine, so like well-off white people, you know? So this fool had like a massage chair type shit and it like gets in your feet. And I got in that bitch with my shoes on, bro. And like, you know how it's supposed to massage your feet? I had like my shoes fully on. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, bro. Like not even feeling like any of it really, you know what I'm saying?
You were smoking
like,
what Snoop was smoking first time. Jeez.
Yeah, the OG, bro. And then even the next couple times after that, like the homies that I would smoke with, the homie Vincent, this fool fucking had some cousins, I guess, that were older that would get weed from the dispensaries because they had the medical dispensaries and shit. So I remember like Blue Dream, some Fire OG, you know what I mean? Like really the first times I was smoking was like, I'm pretty spoiled. Like as far as like the access and whatnot and like where I was at. I remember one time I had picked up some. So I actually, the first time I ever got in trouble for like some weed shit was like when I was 13 right there in middle school. I got expelled from middle school and they arrested me and charged me with like selling weed. I sold 20 sack to some girl type shit. And she was like walking back to her locker to go put it away. And then the PE teachers just saw them like hella smelling something, looking suspicious, and just ran up on them. And then my name got involved and I ended up got in trouble for it. But so like I was on like the thin ice right there with my mom as far as that shit getting expelled. And then I had done something genius. I went and grabbed a bag of GDP, and I smoked a joint in my bathroom with the fan on. Like, oh, I'm gonna spray some Axe. I got the fan on, and like, bro, that shit smoked the whole house out, bro. And she sent me to rehab, bro. She like really sent me to rehab, bro. Like,
oh shit,
I was so for like.
You think that some of it was like acting out and
well, she
like,
was just
like,
she knew
just
my
like your father passing and stuff, and
exactly.
then not knowing
she knew
how
my
to
dad was
feel about
passed,
it.
and she has other kids, and she's like not like super experienced with this. She just felt lost. Just looking back at her, like even having her tell me, she's like dropping me off crying, like I don't know what to do, like literally don't know what to do. So
they were misinformed about
like the last thing you should do is give me some random people and see what they want to do. Like that ain't
the last thing you do.
But
for all the parents at home, don't do that to your kid, because then they end up around a bunch of drug addicts on real drugs, and then they learn about a bunch of real drugs.
That's the next part of the story.
That's not the way to do it. Fucking take away their cell phone or some shit, their keys to their car or some shit, you know? Like,
see what kind of weed they're smoking, you know?
No,
I mean, my bad.
See if they're smoking better than you first.
He's in the bathroom smoking that sticky purple. I could smell it out here, the whole house, you know? Holy hell.
Like, I smell the GDP.
Yeah.
No, I had like a babysitter right there. It was probably 5 minutes after I was out of the bathroom, fucking my mom blowing me up. Like, the babysitter say you smoked out the house. But I'm like, what? Like,
you're like, damn, snitch.
No way.
Yeah. Like, man, maybe I should have stepped outside.
I was only like,
go to the park.
I like just turned 14 or something. And like he said, bro, it's all kids that are like 17, damn near 18, like all doing heroin and meth. And like, yeah, I'm in here for weed. They're like, what? Why? Like, so.
Weed?
Yeah, exactly.
like in Half Baked, for real.
Nah, but like the insurance is paying like $20,000 or whatever the fuck for you to be there for a couple of weeks. So they're going to sit there and be like, you got a weed problem. Let's fix this. You know, they're not going to be like, hey, let's keep you the fuck away from these kids that are going to pollute you. But like, it wasn't too bad. Like nothing like hella weird or nothing like that. But no, I remember I actually was.
Did you stop after that for a while?
Hell no, bro. But like honestly, out of all these kids, bro, these kids are like 17, hardened criminals, whatever. Like I was the one that got kicked out after being there for a week. They kicked me out after a week, and I had because they had convinced me like this was in actually where I went to rehab was in Orange. So like my dad's studio was right down the street. I was kind of familiar with the area. There's like a Rite Aid right here, yada yada yada. So they actually convinced me to like go run across like. So what we do is we sneak out at night and we go steal alcohol and like everybody gets fucked up. So I did it twice in a week and fucking got the whole house fucked up. Like some of these people are like, yeah, I haven't done drugs in 6 months. I'm like, that's what's up. I'll be back with a bottle. Like, so it kind of like fucked up everything like for everybody. And they had to kick me out, bro. And like my mom made me, she said if I didn't call them and like beg to get back in, I was going to one of the military camps type shit. So I was like, I got them on the phone. I was like, please. And they fucking let me back in to like try to complete whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So I ended up being there like another 2 weeks. But like even after like a week and a half, like one of the other kids had gone and like stole a bunch of Benadryl and we all popped like whatever the recommended dose is times 10. And like we were all just like tripping on acid, bro, pretty much like laying in the backyard and like everybody got in trouble for that. But somehow they let me out the program after they were like, just get out of here, bro. Like, I don't know. Like I got out of that and somehow like my mom, like it was cool, whatever. Like I don't even know if I stopped. I don't know how much I stopped smoking or how long, or it might've been a day or you know what I think? It was like couple weeks or something, bro. I might have like tried to make an effort, but you're in middle school, so that's totally unrealistic.
That's young
whatsoever.
Yeah.
But
and so you get through middle school?
Yeah, I got through middle school, and then we actually moved like right at the end of like my 8th grade year. It was like right after the market had crashed, so houses were like pretty affordable and whatnot. So my mom had bought a house in Corona. I ended up going to high school out there. And then like just the same bullshit like the first couple of years, you know, started like getting in trouble for weed and shit, got expelled again, like ended up going to the continuation school. And it was like right there, if you fuck up right there, they send you to county. And that's like, they got like hella police right there. Like you're damn near in the system. They're like begging to like, let's get this guy. And like as soon as you're in the bad school. So like I did my semester there and I did good. And I fucking, I got back to normal school. And I actually, pretty much what changed everything was I found wrestling. Cause like I had the jujitsu background, but like my dad had passed away. So I wasn't really involved with nothing too much, you know? And then, but I found jujitsu, or I found wrestling, and that was pretty much the only thing that kept me like that took up so much time and like energy, like you didn't really have time to get in trouble no more.
You had a good coach.
Yeah, I had a great coach. So we like my junior year we took 5th in state, and my senior year we took 7th in state. Like I didn't start wrestling until my junior year of high school, and so my senior year of high school, like I won league, won CIF. And I got top 12 in state. I lost in like what's called like the blood round or like the crying round, because only the top 8 people get medals. So like I lost in overtime and the last match to be able to place. So I was over there crying like a little girl and shit, you know, after. But like to be able to do that with 1 year, you know, that really speaks to my coach's abilities and shit like that. So like that was like a very blessed situation, which off of just those 2 years of wrestling, I was able to get like college scholarships for it. And so I ended up pretty much getting most of my college paid for. Like they were fucking giving me checks. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll get everything paid for. Then whatever my grant was like go in my pocket type of thing. So it was cool. Like it was comfortable, like just for wrestling to be able to do that for me, you know, and to get through and get a degree. So I have a degree in political science.
That's kind of dope though. Your dad instilled that in you so early on. That then that far, like, you know, 10, 12, 15, whatever, 10 years later, it comes back to help you.
Yeah, no.
That jujitsu comes back to let you get into college through that. That's cool, man.
Yeah, no, like my dad was super like hands-on with like trying to teach me how to read when I was really young and stuff like that. And like how to write, bro. He'd make me, like, I just feel like I had like this weird like samurai, like fucking tragedy movie, like childhood, like that most people didn't like. It was like sucked some parts of it while I was doing it. Like, but like I did, like he wouldn't let me go hang out with the kids and shit and go play and shit right around this. Like, I literally have to sit at the table and do like fucking. He'll write out math tables and like make me do math and shit. Like and read book. Like I'll wake up on the weekend and be like, all right, you have to read this whole book before you can play video games for the weekend. Like that's not your typical like. And like since I was a little kid, you know, it made me. Which again, I'm grateful for. He taught me how to clean. Like a lot of people, bro, don't know how to clean. Like don't know if you give them a broom, they don't know how to properly like sweep some shit. You know, like from like a small kid. Like
your dad was super disciplined.
Yeah, like 8 years old, made me clean the whole house, bro. Like scrubbing the fucking hardened piss off the toilet type shit. So like, just super like third world country mixed with the martial arts is like, you know, it's like I'm grateful for it, but
discipline.
It was fucking, I hated it at the time.
That's the thing is
I
at
want to
the
be
time,
a normal kid.
You're like, why isn't my dad like other, you know, why isn't, and then years later you realize like, man, all this shit paid off. 100%. You know, it really did. Like, look at even that, getting full scholarship and getting money to go to college. That's rare.
Where'd you end up going? What area did you go to?
My first year and a half, I actually went to school in Benedictine College in Atchison, Kansas. It's like 45 minutes out of Kansas City.
What was that?
And
like?
Again, bro, like these things where you hate them while you're doing it, but they end up paying like tenfold. You know what I'm saying?
That is so different than Corona though, or Orange County.
Oh, nah. Like while I'm there, I'm like, this fucking sucks, bro. Like buying weed, bro, is a whole different fucking thing, dude. Cause you're not in Kansas, like a big city. Like in Kansas City, like there's more fire weed than general, like, but we're like an hour away even from in a tiny ass little tweaker town, bro. So like I had a small Catholic school. So it's like buying weed is a whole different, like, there's different, bro. Like a $20 gram, you're not getting better than $20 gram, bro. Like if you try to get a better deal than that, the dude's just taking some out the top of the sack. Like you're not getting better than $20 gram. And then like really it's like outdoor, yada, yada, you know, like just getting out of high school wasn't super hip to like this or that. Like I knew a couple dudes that had the fire, and then some dudes like you're for sure getting the outdoor, but there was literally times where like, you know, like the end of school, now I'm thinking about like April, May, March, like there would be no weed at all. You call like all your 10 little school plugs, no one has weed. So that shit was a big culture shock from coming from SoCal. Like smoking OG the very first time at 8th grade, and then you're smoking like straight no name like outdoor booth, bro. And like, you're like, God damn.
You went backwards.
What's crazy is people from Cali I don't think know about drought as much as other places, where like when you're like there's no weed, and or people are like there's literally a drought where there were certain months that every year a lot of states just there's no weed around, or there's very little weed, where like California such a epicenter that there's no
the
drought.
price went up a little bit. That's a drought. Like, no, bro. When you're in fucking Atchison, Kansas, a drought is there's no weed. Mm-hmm. You're sober that day. Like people don't get that shit for sure. 100%.
And so you're out there and you graduate through Kansas?
Nah, I came back after a year and a half, but I have made some fruitful relationships out there. So Kansas City, like that's like one of my second homes for sure, bro. Like I love Kansas City. It's done a lot for me and my family, you know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out Kansas City. They, the culture's building slowly. The cheap weed is kind of like what dominates over there, but I mean, it's only a matter of time, you know what I'm saying? But I ended up coming back to California, and I was staying at like back and forth whenever, because I switched schools a couple times. I like go stay at the grandma's house. And like my grandma smokes weed and shit, so it's always like cool to smoke there or whatever. So like that was like my little fallback spot a couple times in college. It's like I went to my grandma's house, went to local community college for a semester, and bro, I was working at fucking Stater Brothers for a second, and just that was awesome, just doing that, because like you really realize like I can't do this, like I'm not gonna do this, like I will not be a Stater Brothers guy. Like this fool next to me said he worked here 28 years or whatever the fuck. Like not happening, bro. Like, so getting a job like that and really seeing what's what and like what the future holds for you if you don't get on your shit, like that'll do wonders for you. But so like from there, I actually ended up being able to transfer from that community college to Cal State Bakersfield. It's like a Division I school. But then because of some transcript stuff, yada, yada, from transfer from my first school, because like a weird Catholic school, they made me ineligible for like the whole first year. And it's actually fucked up right there because the wrestling team's not fully like funded by the school. So like they had paperwork filled out to try to get me going and shit. But like literally I go in there like every couple of days, every week. And like they just didn't care at all. They didn't really like want to spend the time to do it. So like that just never really worked out, and I had to transfer from there up to Reading.
So you bounced all around, bro.
Yeah. I went
so you get up to Reading. What's that like?
I went to Simpson College, which was I was really into fishing. One of my homies had got me into fishing. I was just like all about fishing at the time. So I was like, all right, where could I get my school paid for and like hella fish all the time? And I was like, boom, Reading. Like that sounds dope. So I ended up going out there, and like that's pretty much just, without moving to Reading, I would never be like involved in the weed industry to the degree that I am now, like without even knowing it. I went there for fishing of all things. Like I moved to like the epicenter of like fire weed, bro. Like as far as like people actually growing this shit, like LA would be the epicenter as far as like culturally, like having good weed, having a brand, yada, yada, yada. But these are people who's like generationally have been growing weed, like their family members grow the whole, it's like just way different vibe.
Yeah. It's almost like farming for them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what, my dad did this, or my grandpa did this, or my uncles do this, I do this. And it is a lot of more like farming when it's on the side of a hill or on the mountain or in the woods versus in warehouses. Up the hill.
Exactly.
Bill.
I know this. If you want them deals, you got to go up the hill.
That's what it is, bro, for real.
That's some hearsay.
Yeah,
ain't no hearsay.
Dead giveaway.
Yeah.
I love it. It's true, man.
No, it's crazy to see people's eyes fucking light up when they get up there. They're like, oh, you're real? This is real? And fucking, they're like, oh my God,
you've never crossed over to the promised land?
Yeah.
The one thing I'll never forget is rolling down the windows and smelling weed.
Oh, bro.
Driving on and you can't
Who brought
see
you
it
up the hill?
What?
Who brought you up the hill?
The pack god. What do you mean?
Oh man, we gotta get you back up there though, for real.
Yeah,
like a real trip.
Yeah, I would love to.
Hey,
this guy loves it. He appreciates that. It's fun just watching him, honestly.
Bro.
As an indoor grower, I think a lot of indoor growers envy outdoor growers because of just like
nature.
Yeah, and you're stuck in these warehouses. You're in a box inside of another box all day. And in a war zone usually.
Kindly, bro, you're tripping, bro. Like,
I know.
I did the outdoor thing.
The grass is always greener.
I did the outdoor thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like that, fuck, bro. The amount of work it is, bro. Like the bags of soil do not move themselves, bro. Like the degree of like lifting and like in the sun, it's 110 degrees. Like all that shit is just like, to speak on that, bro. Like also like definitely something that like not proud of, but like I definitely earned my fucking right to sit anywhere. As far as like I did the outdoor thing, bro. Like 2 years ago, I fucking had 6,000 square feet of depths going, like me and the homie type shit. Not like I pull up in fucking nice clothes and throw money at people to do shit. Like me and the homie, like hauling soil, hauling this, yada. Like there was no well, bro. We were hauling water up and down, like not playing, bro. Like really, like that's why I'm saying when you're tripping, like I was like, and
Biggs
like
definitely didn't mean that.
No, I meant like my feet off and I got sandals on and I'm like spraying down a plant. You know what I'm saying?
Especially at these tickets, bro. Yeah, that's a little different, bro.
There's still more concrete slabs on the build out, man.
Fucking take a skateboard down that thing.
No, but that garden, like I'm saying, I had 6,000 square feet. This is a beautiful garden, bro. Like we rocked it all the way till damn near the end, bro. We were 10 days out. And fucking the sheriffs came, bro, and just they literally got a bobcat. They got a bobcat, bro, and turned it all into like a huge mound pile of dirt.
Did they first? Was it first a chopper, or they just pull up in trucks?
So like on the fucking gate, they left like the paperwork, which like it has the picture of whenever they flew over. I don't know if it was a drone or a copter. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd be doing both, is what I know. So I couldn't say if it was a drone or a copter, but we didn't directly like see one working there any day or whatever. But it had been like 7 days beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they fucking put it all into a big ass pile, bro. Like fuck, 10 days out, like shit was.
So first you get the notice on the
bro. You fucking pull up in the morning to go bring your water, and there's a bunch of fucking cops with a trailer and a fucking bobcat in the back, and you know what's up. Like
when you hit it,
you know what the bobcat means, bro.
That's heartbreaking.
You just keep driving and you call the homie and you're like, hey, all that month, 6 figures, like all that work, bro, that shit's gone. Like it is what it is. Like I never even went back up, bro. I didn't have the heart to do it, bro. But the homie went back up and like took pictures. I literally got the pictures. Like I got that shit on my Instagram for anybody that wants to see the fucking before and after of what these people like will do to like a beautiful garden, bro. And then say, oh, the weed people are out here polluting or causing messes and shit. Like everybody think back on the pictures you see in the gardens, and it's like, was that a fat mess or was that a garden that they hauled up to a fucking big pile and then took a picture, said, look at this pile of trash. Like, bro, that was not I didn't have no dirt, like no trash nowhere, bro. This shit was clean. Like took pride in it. You know what I'm saying? Like full irrigation system, like everything, bro. So they like all the PVC, like everything is all in a pile, bro. They didn't like, so it's fucked up for sure.
And then you lose everything, your time, your money, dude. You know, oh man, right at the end too, right before. That's why sometimes you'll hear guys like going up and cutting down in the middle of the night randomly. They don't really talk about like, let's just get this down and out, you know, like, especially if some shit, it's crazy, especially with drones now. Drones change everything, because before you'd hear like, we saw the copter, it was overhead, we realized they were gonna, you know, now it's, you wouldn't even see a drone or hear it fly over.
Like 10 minutes down the road, bro, I had 100 outdoors, like fucking huge, bro, like beautiful, and fucking the helicopter starts circling, and it's like a couple of days after my other shit got cut. So I'm like, all right, what's it worth, you know? So fucking the helicopter circling, we're out there with the machetes, fucking cutting them down, bro. So like double L. They come in pairs. whatever it is, bro.
It was a good lesson though, huh?
Yeah. Well, fuck the outdoor for now until like, I don't know, like the whole, like, let's just send it and be scared all summer. Like, fuck, that ain't what I'm on no more after that, you know?
That's how the original outdoor growers went inside though. It's because they were catching so much. That's what I've heard, is that they had so much drama and heat on them that they were like, we got to take this indoors. You know,
well, here we are.
Yeah.
With my indoor weed for you guys.
It's true though, man. It's like, that's the original path for a lot of guys.
No, 100%.
Well, especially it all comes down to what area you're in. Sorry, it's fucking dab tool.
Get you a little dab or two, you know?
Take a little
well,
dab.
it's crazy.
A little honey banana.
Let me get that Dr. Dabber one second.
I don't know, bro. In the specific area I'm in, like, there's areas where, you know, there's 10,000 grows all in one spot. So my logic all summer is like, okay, they literally just drive over there, drive down the street. They could give out a fucking 100 tickets in a day. But like my shit isolated where I'm at, nothing around me, like they're not going to spend the time. But like they took a day off, cut in 100 a day and came to just cut my one per day. Like they took the time for me. So they caught me off guard with that shit.
And it's at random, huh? Like neighbors, or some neighbors get left, some don't.
I don't know. The only weird thing that happened was like the very beginning of the run, like 7 plants had just got like uprooted from the fucking pots. There's like 7 plants and it was just like hella weird. Like someone found it and just like, oh, I need 7 plants this year or something. Or like they like just took it and were like, all right, let's wait to get these. Well, I don't know. Cause they want you to like spend all your fucking bread and get hella excited before they cut you. You know, they don't want to fucking
they took him
do
back.
It when it's easy.
Yeah, they take him back to the place and they're like, how far until these guys finish? And he's like, 7 weeks. We're like, all right, 6 weeks from now, we're going back up.
Dead ass, bro. They got me perfect. Like I spent every dollar on nutrients that was to be spent. Like they got me good.
Like, let's break them.
Fucking, and me, bro, like the way I like to do shit, bro, we do it right, bro. So I was waking up at fucking 3:50 a.m. and going and putting the tarps on. You know, we'll put the tarps on in the morning and then take them off at like 10 a.m. in the day. Cause like all the people putting their tarps on at fucking 6 p.m. when it's 100 degrees, like I'm not going to sit here and talk shit on people, but you're doing it the lazy way.
Interesting.
Like it's getting hot up in that bitch for sure for a couple hours. Like there's no way around it. The sun doesn't go down till 9:30 up there in NorCal at in the middle of the summer. You know what I'm saying?
You hear what he's saying though? What? He would tell
we'll wake up at 3:50 a.m.
That's all the experienced people are pulling tarps in the morning.
Put the tarps
like you
in
said,
the morning.
You're not gonna want at the end of the day and shit, and it's hot as shit during the summer.
Humid, the most humid usually.
It's 100 degrees. You're putting the fucking tarp on to like.
Hell no.
And you're sitting in there baking your weed for a couple hours. Like that ain't it.
No,
but
great advice.
I don't know, but it hurts when you get cut when you're waking up at 3:50. So it hurts more, bro.
What time you going to sleep at that point?
I mean,
8 o'clock.
It just depends. Like it comes in phases, you know, like the transplanting and the hauling the soil, like who knows, bro? Like it's like 36-hour work day type shit. Like it is what it is.
Shit don't stop.
Well, you don't ever plan for the shit accordingly. You're not like, oh, it takes this long to carry a bag of soil, so I need this many days. Like hell no, bro. Like you got 1,000 bags of soil. Now get them bitches up the hill, and you did not plan accordingly. So that's always 100% how it is. Unless, I don't know, maybe people are more organized than me, bro. But
a lot of times too with growing, shit just happens. Like, you think one thing and it's like, oh, okay, now this isn't working like we thought. So all right, now we got to go this way with it. So there is always, it's constant work, no matter, even if it's planned for what's unexpected, because that's coming too. You know?
100%.
So that crazy shit happens and the cops basically knock down 2 badass grows.
Yeah,
quick.
Nothing ever happened. I never got like associated with nothing like that, you know, like there's a lot of grows up there that get cut. So I'm not really too worried like talking about it as far as that, you know, just getting cut, like whatever. But yeah, nothing ever too far came from it, which was a blessing for sure. You know, fucking kept the lights going and shit. So that was part of like the risk reward, you know?
Have you dabbled at all in like indoor lighting at all at that point?
No, I've been doing indoor like so I just started growing about 3 years ago, like just coming on 3 years in March. So like my last like my senior year, going to nationals, the national tournament and wrestling, like that week, like I had transplanted my clones, like built a little 5-light room. It's fucking hilarious, bro. A little 13 by 13 little shack in the backyard type shit with 7-foot ceilings, you know, running HPS lights. So like 7 feet HPS, the math already don't add up. So, but yeah, I grow some wedding cake. I like, luckily just being up there, like I had met like a bunch of people, whatnot, like just started off like anybody, bro, just doing grunt work, you know, fucking working the sealer. You're the grunt type shit, you know, just getting down like that. And then, but you know, you meet growers, you meet people, yada, yada, yada. And as long as, you know, even if you're doing grunt work, if you're hella trustworthy every time, like there's only a natural progression to life. Like people will expect you to like be on to the next thing. They're not really going to hate on you if you were doing what you were doing hella good. So it's like just slowly just went up from there and just met part of the right people, you know, just being up there, you know, they're everywhere. So it's not like super hard, but luckily I met the right people because Reading is a funky spot. Like there's a lot of like funky ass, like white trash kind of people, bro, that be doing like just janky ass, like growing janky, like selling janky, like doing weird, jacking people, whatever. Like there's that breed of people up there. But luckily I met like some real, like, you know, like one of the first homies where I seen his grow up in Hayfork type shit. Like he fucking grew up there. Like his parents built a little wood, what's it called? A cabin, little wood cabin, and lived in that and started building the main house and like built that like, so like legacy people up there. So like I was blessed to meet like some of the right people. So they like taught me the right ways and shit, you know, and they told me like from the beginning, even my little 5-lighter, I was like, oh, well, what if I get this little AC or do this? Like, and they're like, no, bro. Like, you spend all the fucking money that needs to be spent and you do that shit fucking titties, like A1, bro. And like, that's the only way to do it. Like, if you try to fuck around, you're just going to fuck yourself. So like, I had ended up like, got a mini split, got the right lights, you know, got the trays, got the fucking DU. So it's like, you know, definitely
they
hella blessed. I got on like, yeah, I had a homie give me some wedding cake clones, which like can't fucking lose with wedding cake, bro. So, you know, they did me a solid for sure. Like I fucking, my room was doing great, bro. My first run ever. It was like week 3 of flower and some fucking assholes at the grow shop like convinced me to like put a watering system in. So I ended up calling this dude fucking, what's it called? Bare Roots in Reading. They still owe me an apology for referring me to this dude. Straight up, bro. Like it was one of the dudes like, oh, this is my cousin or brother type shit. And like, they know, like, I'll tell them it's my first time growing, yada, yada, yada. So it's like, bro, whatever you give me, bro, you're the one with the grow store. Like, I'm going to like, I'm going to have open ears type shit, you know? So you're kind of vulnerable. So it's like, they said they had this, they referred me to this dude. I call him, yeah, he comes to do the thing, to do my watering system, bro. And like, so firstly, like he kept fucking, so the lights come on this time, turn off this time. He kept like staying in there too late with like leave the fucking door open and just like working with a green light for hella hours. But when re-veg, like finished it. And then like next day after he left, like my shit all re-veg, bro. Like the curled leaves full, like the top started sprouting up and shit. I was in like week 4 or something, you know, nugs and everything. And I was like, well, fuck, it's too late to like cut it. I'm just going to see what happens type shit. So,
good lessons learned.
But dude,
at the time it isn't, but
yeah. Also on top of that, like this fool put fucking, the type of valves he put are made for outside. So like they squirt water out of the top and shit. And they're in the indoor room, like the most retarded shit ever. Like, this fool like totally fucked me, bro. And like this is like big grocery store like right there. And like that was an official referral. Like this fool, it's Nick or something from Reading that be doing irrigation and fuck all that. But fucking
the dude's kicking the ground right now.
Yeah, nah, for sure, bro.
Oh, did you let him know or what, bro?
Oh, bro, I told him I was gonna smack the shit out of him if I see him, bro. But,
Man, jiu-jitsu, bro.
You know,
for real.
Hey, the part that fucks me up is like, because I'm open with these people. Like, this is the first time I'm ever growing weed. Like, oh, you're in week 4 of flower, keep hand watering, shut the fuck up.
They hit a lick.
Like, that advice was hella faster than doing what you did. Like, But
Yo, what up? It's Blackleaf. I'm here at Grow Generation, and guess what? Drip Hydro's storming the market. All the best growers I know are switching to it, and guess what? There's a reason, because it's preserving terps. I keep hearing that, preserving terps, and that's why we're here with Sunshine, facility advisor, facility manager, overall the man with Drip Hydro. Listen to why it's different, man.
What's going on, guys? Sunny here with Drip Hydro. Thing is, at the end of the day, we just wanted to make a simple, clean, cost-effective nutrient line that nobody is really seeing on the market right now. Nobody uses really our chelation formulas. The micronutrients that we have pulled to make this line is really just what makes it overall, bringing that consistency and quality back to what we want to see in growing herb again. And overall, at the end of the day, it's still really light on your wallet. It's a 5-part nutrient line. And again, if you're not staying sterile, or you have a big facility and you don't want to run rock wool and you want to run a mix of cocoa with an enzyme or something, you don't even have to run flow with it. So at the end of the day, it's just saving you money on your wallet while bringing the consistency and the quality of terps back. We wanted to bring the terps back and bring the soul back to growing.
Versatility, cost effective, and quality. I mean, what else can you ask for? Drip Hydro, first smoke of the day, Blackleaf approved. Peace.
Yo, we're right here downtown LA at the Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. And if you didn't already know, whether you come in store like us or you go shop online, growgeneration.com, use the code FIRSTSMOKE10 and they're gonna give you a 15% off your already discounted price. Make sure you come check it out. Come check out the Drip Hydro and everything else. We appreciate you guys, and you already know, let's get inside. Yo, what's up, First Smoke family? Want to take a second to remind you guys, we appreciate your support for hopping on the Patreon. It's patreon.com/FSOTD. We got brand new shows that have been hitting. They're exclusive to Patreon. You won't see them anywhere else. Make sure you get on Patreon, support the show, join the family. We got in-person events and much, much, much more. This is a real community, and we show a lot of love. And also, shout out to Dr. Dabber. We got a lot of things we're about to unveil, a lot of things we're about to roll out. Go get you an XS. That's what me and Biggs are smoking on. We're smoking that XS, Dr. Dabber XS, and use code FSOTD for 15% off, drdabber.com. We appreciate you guys. Peace.
But lesson learned, so then you learn
so I had to have that year. So he re-vegged my plants. I kept rocking it, bro. And I don't know how, bro. Like, by the grace of God, bro, I got 12 pounds out of a 5-light room, bro, after re-vegging. I was like, oh, none of the homies believe me. They're like, what? Like,
this is a reversal. You actually have to thank them now.
No,
because they stressed your plants out in such a good way that your harvest was
I don't know,
great.
bro. Like, the tops were all like little nug here, yada, yada, yada. But like, it was wedding cake, bro. So it just was refused to go down without throwing down, you know? It did what it does. But it was like 11 and a half weeks I let it go. So
shout out Seed Junkie.
Yeah, for real.
He created a big wave with that one.
Yeah. A lot of people got some hate for Sea Junkie, but it's like, just do all that first, and then let's see what you got to say for sure. As far as all that goes,
you filled a lot of growers'
I can only
pockets.
take it when people start talking shit. It's like, I can only take it serious if you're a player.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're not doing nothing at all and you're talking about, it's like, dude, you have no clue, you know? So it's
the work that he puts in, the work that his team
that's why I always say
in.
players respect other players in sports and shit, and like whatever, like MMA, all that shit, you know what I mean? Like, because they understand the level of discipline and dedication and sacrifice it takes to like do something like create a strain like wedding cake or whatever the fuck, you know?
Wedding cake, ice cream cake. I mean,
Bunch
jealousy.
of shit that like makes waves.
Ice cream cake, but
makes waves in the big market. Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
But for a breeder, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Nah, for everybody to rock your shit till it's burnt out, like that's the goal.
It's the biggest wave of the whole year.
Yeah,
or like
ice cream cake was dope when it first hit, but it's like all the
They're
mediocre
still
batches.
on that ice cream cake up the hill.
That's everything, though.
Bro, you got to pass down ice cream cake all day up the hill, bro, until you get to the good
I'm telling you. It used to be the purple punch.
It used to be the purple punch.
Before
that, it was green crack or blue dream.
Hey, I never seen something die quicker than Zuki's.
Zuki's went quick,
as far as indoor. Like, it was hot and then gone.
And it's a good strain, too. That's what's weird. Like, when it's dialed in, it's a fucking good strain.
I don't even remember last time I saw Zuki's.
Yeah.
It was like the same summer that ice cream cake dropped. The same summer that ice cream cake dropped, it was like everybody was growing at depths, indoor, everything. It was like on the same path as ice cream cake, and then disappeared.
Is LCG the new ice cream cake?
for sure.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not outside though. Not outdoor though.
What do you mean?
I don't think.
You don't think it'll go all the way outdoor? Like it won't be the wave that big?
I mean, you're starting to see stuff, but he knows. Like I bet you would agree that it's more really ice cream cake than LCG. They say it's LCG, and it's really like a cake,
bro.
or some shit.
Everything's 90% of all weed is cake up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, wherever you're at, like any ethnicity of greenhouse grower right now, like it's ice cream cake.
Yeah,
for the most part. But no, there's like
under 100 different assumed names.
That's what makes it like easy, because it's like when the runs come, I'm like, bet how much? Like I'm buying all of these, bro. Like, because you already know it's gone, you know.
That's dope though. It's so interesting to see how when things hit and what they're growing up north, because and like they dictate so much of the production. It's always interesting.
Yeah.
Where did it go for you when you got your indoor set up and you finally got past this dude who screwed your irrigation up and got past that run?
So
like,
I found I got a real irrigation guy who set me up with a real little irrigation system right there in the 5-lighter. And then like obviously the 5-lighter never like put me in a position to do all that, but I did like rapidly expand from there, you know, without saying too much, like as far as like exact anything, like, you know, it did expand a lot from there. So I've had a lot of experience in the last 2 years with like bigger rooms, you know, because I really only, I had a 5-lighter for like little 3 runs. And then it went straight to, you know, like the double digits. Like it was like pretty much a crash course as far as the indoor, you know, like my first 30-lighter, bro, I pretty much did a pheno hunt. Like, I don't know, coming from a 5-lighter to a 30-lighter, and just saying fuck it, like doing a pheno hunt, bro. It's like I just kind of been about like the culture and just kind of like trying to find my own shit, bro, and not try to like do the basic ass fucking like get clones and fucking just grow what everybody else is growing. Like I've been trying to avoid that since like day one, you know. So like that pretty much like it wasn't too bad of an L, you know. I did all right. I had like 40 different strains in there, bro, in a 30-lighter. So it's like that, you know, not the smartest move if you're like really just looking at the money aspect of it. But like the Trop Santo came from that hunt, like the Bubblegum Biscotti came from that hunt. The Bubblegum Biscotti Gushers, you know, the Big League Chew came from that hunt. So it's like from there, yeah, it was just a couple bigger rooms, and then
but always hunting.
Yeah, always hunting.
Where'd you
pretty
get
much.
the seeds from? Talk about those seeds.
The Canorado was the Bubblegum Biscotti Gushers was Canorado, and then Oni seeds was the Trop Santo. Those was like my first
seeds in Canorado for sure.
Yeah, no, like those are definitely like some good hash strains. Like the Bubblegum Biscotti Gushers, I'm gonna keep around for sure. It dumped pretty hard, and it's got like a really unique terp profile. So like that's cool to just find like on the quickness, you know. And I had this banana cannons from Ronin Seeds, but it ended up being like a herm. It didn't herm the first time, but then every time after that I tried to grow it, it was a herm. But it was like modified banana Cushmans. And it was like the nastiest, like banana GMO, like disgusting. I loved it.
Under LEDs or no?
Nah, HPS the whole time. I don't really have any experience.
Cushman's wants to throw herm once in a while.
LEDs.
I had issues with the same plant. I've had a bunch of friends who had issues with that strain where like sometimes it's real finicky. It will want to like the Cushman, something about the Cushman's in it.
Yeah, I had hit up Ronin Seeds about it, and they said the banana burger, or the modified banana, they were like not doing that cross no more because I had like some issues or whatever. But no, I wasn't mad about it, bro. It was only like a 12-pack. So, you do what you got to do, find what you got to find.
It's like for me, like seeds is like looking for gold. Like you might go through hundreds of bullshit, but if you find that one thing, it was all worth it. I don't care. Like you said, like, oh, there's herms and stuff. I've heard guys like would grow low key where he was like, we went through the whole, what was it? 3C or the whole pack. And only one of them was not a herm. And that was like an absolute banger. You know, you hear these stories where it's like, all you need is that one. Shit. Yeah. The heavy fog.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And you just keep hunting, trying to find, but the Trop Santo you got over there is like absolutely gorgeous.
What do you feel about, finding a keeper for washing with hash and then doing it in dep or something and making rosin out of that? Like, What do you
I'd
feel
be
about like
it.
the rosin that's coming out of these greenhouses versus indoor?
I don't really know the difference too much. Like my main homie that like I grew up with, you know, shout out the homie Chris. He be dabbing his ass off, fucking convulsing, curling up into a ball every time and shit. Fucking, he really is adamant. Like he likes the indoor rosin, bro. Like he don't fuck with the outdoor rosin.
Yeah,
like, he'll tell the difference and like he'll ask like, "Oh, it's outdoor." But yep. Like cause I keep hearing people say on the podcast too, on your guys' stuff. Like,
yeah, that's better.
Outdoor, full sun, blah, blah. And I'll tell him and he's like, that's cap, whatever. Like that's how he feels about it.
That's why I ask. Yeah.
So really I only have my own personal watching experience, like from this, you know?
Yeah.
From my
you've only
indoor.
done your indoor, yeah.
But like my personal homie that I would call and ask about some rosin, bro, he says the indoors reign supreme still.
Makes sense.
I have a hard time believing sometimes that like, so the flower doesn't look as good, but
or smoke,
but or smoke is good, but the resin's better. Okay, but everyone's got an opinion. That's what's cool about weed is that like everyone has their take, their experience, their strain, their like it's such a small craft niche thing for each person that everyone has a specific focus. But yeah, it is tough because like I don't smoke greenhouse or outdoor. I have, but that's not my preference. Indoors, my preference. And then if you actually take a plant outside and wash it in the water and you see all the different shit that floats up, but random shit that floats up because it's outside. It's tough to then be like, and then that's going to make even better resin than in that science lab over there. That was $500,000.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an interesting dynamic.
Like growing myself and looking at the trichome heads, like on the finished product or even right before it's finished, like, I don't know, just visually, I'd be like, it's a no-brainer that this can be way better than that. Like just looking at the heads or whatever. But, it depends how good your greenhouse is. Like that's a huge part. Like just outdoor, you're going to get the rain you didn't expect. Like it's going to get rained on. So you tell me this rained on one is as good as, like, I don't know. Like I'm not the expert in that, but I don't know. My homie do be getting mad, bro. But everybody's like, the sun grown.
I like how it's a passionate conversation. It goes back and forth, Yeah, no,
100%.
You feel you're ever indoor for you only moving forward or what?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing, like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of shitty work. But if you were to have like a nice flat spot you could like drive into, like there's a wide range, bro, wide range. Like my first ever greenhouse, I actually did do a dep run and I pulled it off. It was like 3,000 square feet. Like way up north, like damn near in Oregon, bro. But it was an old fucking mining property, bro. Like I had to have excavation people come and like widen the road just to be able to get a truck up there and then like dig into this fucking granite cliff to like create a little bit of a flat spot for just enough. And my homie was like driving up there with the water. Like it was pretty much like his idea to begin with. And like I just somehow made it work type shit, but it was a terrible idea. But no, it worked. Like made enough money, like not like crazy yields, but to pull it off in the situation is pretty wild.
It's crazy how much work's getting put in under the canopy of those trees or on the sides of those mountains.
Huge range, bro. Like if you could drive up to your greenhouse and throw the soil, literally that is like potentially days of work difference from, I got to pull up to this hill and run the soil up. Like that's a huge difference. So if it was like a cool situation, bro, like some nice greenhouses, flat land, a well, all the spoiled stuff. Like I'd like greenhouse for sure, bro. And like the greenhouse that I have grown, it was stupid ass fire, bro. Like, I don't know. I just put my all into everything, So like the best ones I had, I didn't even get to harvest. So I can't sit here and talk about it too much, but like it was fire, bro. Like I got the pictures to prove it. As far as that goes,
on some of the new strains you're working on, you're growing right now. What are your favorites? What are you most excited about?
So talking about Seed Junkie, I actually had my boy wait all night in line when he did that Jealousy BX1 seed drop. So I had got 4 packs of that, fucking like $600 a pack or whatever. Fucking good work ain't cheap, right? But yeah, I got 4 packs of that. And then I popped all of them. So it was like 48 phenos. And we ended up with like 45 probably after like just the ones that didn't germinate quite right. And I counted all those and I got down to 4, and I'm now running like 5 lights to each of the 4. So like I'm working on like narrowing that down to like 1 or 2, you know, but like that's what I got coming, and I'm like super excited about it, bro. Like I got a homie where I blessed him with some cuts and he's like a couple weeks ahead of me. It's like just looking A1, bro, like for sure. There's like a homie that fucking, you know, he's got like 6 lights and fucking, he was just having problems just kind of concentrating on the yield too much, you know? Like just kind of trying to push them too hard, yada, yada. And the batches hadn't been coming out right. And I told him, bro, like I got these cuts for you. And like, you know, just like, I know you could do your thing, bro. Just literally like, just tune your focus, bro, to like, I'm trying to grow fire, not like how much can I grow, you know? So like, turned his lights down a little bit, yada, yada. And, you know, he's in like week 8 about to pull, and it's like day and night difference from the last couple of runs, bro. Just kind of even having the mindset, bro. Like if I'm not going for yield this time, I'm going for the fire. Like just seeing him change his mindset. Like I literally saw the product, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's dope of you, man. Put him on game and like help out, kind of change his mindset. Cause sometimes it takes that to kind of get outside yourself. Yeah. This homie literally taught me how to top my plants, bro. So it's like, you know, to just like, obviously he did it himself. I don't take any credit, but I was just like, yo, maybe fucking switch the focus up. Just that little shit. And for him to take the mindset up, it's like game changer right there, bro. For anybody that is struggling with like, you know, maybe you got a little bit more weed than your homies, but you're always fucking struggling to sell it. Like, that's not the move, bro, to like call your friends and say how good your yield was. Like, you just need the fire shit right now, bro. Like, that's what it is. And some old school growers are having a problem with that, bro. Like, for sure, from what I've seen.
Yeah, they don't want to take the prices offered because they grew for yield.
Yeah.
And the quality shows, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
That's how it kind of goes. Because you're right. You're either going for one or the other. I don't think there is both. At least all the strains that I personally like are known for being non-yielding for the most part. You know, most exotics or high-end strains.
Yeah.
Not many are throwing down like that
Throughout history.
Yeah, no, I've never been a part of it. Yeah,
we can name 10 or 12 strains through careers that
Dirty Sprite,
presidential Kush.
Yeah.
I mean,
all small yields, like all the candy strains, all that shit.
Anything super,
you know,
Skittles.
And what's funny is I think the better it yields, me personally, I look at it as like, you know, it's not my preference to smoke as much.
It's interesting how there is a correlation where like look at meat breath.
They're like, oh yeah, that one throws down. And I'm smoking it, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't as good as the other one that you said didn't throw down.
Nobody's smoking like Gush mints right now. Everybody's got some Gush mints, and nobody's asking for Gush mints.
Yeah, the mints to me were never. That was a miss. You know.
Yeah.
Mints, like nah.
I've never been
no
a
flavor.
huge. Maybe I haven't had the batch, but I'm not a Kush mints guy myself at all. Like really.
Certain waves too miss me as well. I'm like, you know, I do like the OGs, but I'm very picky about which OGs. Like some people are just an OG smoker. I'm like, no, there's like 3 different versions of OGs, if not 2.
Yeah, like the piney, gassy ones, not so much the earthy ones.
And I don't like the sweet ones either. They're kind of sweet.
What about Skywalker?
It's a good gassy one.
I like Skywalker a lot.
The names have been switched around so much. I used to be hunting down this strain called Fire OG, and then I seen 3 or 4 that I'm like, oh, this isn't. So I must have just seen a random pack. Someone wrote Fire OG on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was so gassy when you would smell it, it would burn your nostrils every time. Like burn your nostrils.
No, that's what I remember from like a couple Skywalker OG batches.
Yeah.
Like that burn your nostril fucking. Oh yeah.
Those ones are out there. Yeah.
What'd you roll up right there?
Just more of this fucking chem with some of the fucking, I think rainbow belts from the homie right here.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
You like mixing shit?
Yeah, I'll be mixing
creating your own little joint flavors and shit, right? You get some
Skittles, you throw a little chem in it, bro. It's a different,
bro.
Throw a little gas in that bitch. Come on, man.
Come on, you got to cut Z with everything.
Yeah.
For real. I mean, in flower form, it's just, to me, it's still superior. Like,
yeah.
And I'm happy to say I've been fucking smoking batches of Indoor Z since about, 2015 for sure.
That's fucking wild, bro. I was late, bro.
From Skittles crew.
Nah, from my homie Royal Bloodline.
Oh, Royal Bloodline. Yeah, he does a great
dog out of Arcata.
Yeah, fire, dude. He grows some great weed too. Man, I'm always blown away by his
Dosido and Gelato, the Gelato.
Dosido's fire,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a good batch of that in a while.
Nah, I don't know what the fuck happened to all that.
I don't think
Which one? Dosido?
Yeah, even the Dolato, like it all got phased out. It just wasn't the same.
It's tough these days because like now you got to think 10 years back. So you got anything that you're like right now, right? LCG is about to be the wave, or like, let's say certain strains maybe that people now 10 years from now are going to be like, whatever happened to Runts? And no one's going to have the cut because it got burnt so hard, right? It's the same with certain other strains, but people want it back. So now growers
like if you
have
were
to figure it out.
Purple punch right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the
very difficult.
cut.
It would be hard.
You got to go to Oregon.
Oh, the real purple punch.
You got to go up the hill, dog. Go see Bill. He's got him in depth.
That's funny.
It's true though. And you know, I mean, dude,
Not like when cookies blew up.
Yeah, where
like
are you gonna get a cookie cut right
Girl
now?
Scout cookies.
that's
The real cookie cut.
There's so many weird ass
Or
batches.
Cookies ain't growing cookies.
Animal or Forum?
Huh?
Animal I got. Which one? Forum?
The forum one, bro.
This fucking guy.
No, but the Forum's very
shit.
difficult to find. This is the same thing with Sour Diesel. I just had this huge talk about this, that how you're going to find a good Forum cookie cut is you're going to have a breeding project from 10 years ago and you held the seeds and it's Forum times something, and you're going to find something that's, you know, that because other than that, there might be a few people that held that down because that's a special cut, but give it 5 years from now, yeah, it will be tough to find certain strains like that.
There would be like a lot of weird batches of it at the end of its little heyday. Like you go to the Trap Clinic, it's like Burner's cookies, and it's like the worst cookies. That kind of ruined it for everybody for sure.
Yeah, they play it out. I mean, that's the problem with the market.
Yeah, no, that's
you
why
could just play out a name. People will be like, "Oh, it's Zope. That's Zushi." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate that they're doing that now.
Yeah, I'm just like, and they know giving it to me too. I'm like, nope. Yeah, and it's like I had that this past weekend where the homie's like, they're calling it Zoe. I looked at it, I was like, bro, this ain't Zoe.
It's the same with that Zushi, like you're saying.
It's another strain, small, maybe like a jealousy cross or some shit, but it definitely wasn't Zoe.
It's far from Zope. Man.
If you're not breeding with the Zushi that we know as Zushi from Team 10, you can't call it Zushi. Like, I don't care what, it just isn't. And it'd be like you saying RS11, and then it's like some other thing that you called RS11 that's kind of like the strain. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, please stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never get that part of it where I'm starting to see Zushi pop up and I'm like, nah, because the crew that holds it down so tight that I know it's all just lies. Like, them dudes, it would have been out by now because that thing's been out. Like, yeah, it's interesting where the weed game goes. That's why, like, with you, a lot of your stuff, man, with that chem and stuff, I really like that you're doing your own thing. All those strains are all your own. You're like, you do your own thing with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're smoking it with your friends, your boy, and deciding like, yeah, that one.
Yeah. No,
or
sure.
We got to get rid of that one. You're keeping it real with yourself too about like, you could just, the first seed you pop, be like, all right, this is it.
No, I just did a room with some fucking, with a different nutrient line.
Which one?
No comment, bro, because anything went wrong, my first run with it, that's my fault. So I have no right even saying what it was that shit wasn't smoking, bro. It's not dropping with my bags. It's not like, yo, the homie grew this, like, you want them? Like, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, bro, like, I definitely stand on it. Like, you know what I mean? I'll take that L before I start tarnishing my brand,
Which nutrient line was it, man?
And bro, it don't really matter, bro. It was like
you got me curious. What's the first letter start with?
Bro, it really
this guy.
Bro,
something we know about or no?
Nah, bro. Like, a lot of people are starting to
homemade
use it.
recipe.
I had got like some free samples to try out.
Ooh,
I think I think I was running the EC a little too high, bro. So I take it on the chest, like fully, like me, like.
I'll say second time it's got to work, and if not, then I would blame him.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not even gonna.
Who can afford that though? It's like, holy shit.
Nah,
that's
like,
why when people say
I would have rather paid for the nutrients and not have that happen.
Well, or that's when companies, like, the biggest thing in nutrients is like,
hey,
so
someone sponsored your run and fucking.
Well, I had got a bunch of free samples, which was like, well, hell yeah, free samples for sure, and like, I don't know. It's not anybody's fault but mine as far as the batch not smoking. But
nutrients is the scariest thing to change. Your feeding schedule.
Yeah.
That'd be like that, it's your diet. It's everything, right? And then the second thing is, I would say the scariest thing is your lighting now.
Like it looks stupid ass fire, like stupid fire, but I didn't taper it correctly. I was just running too high or whatever. And it's just not smoking, bro.
It's got to be smoking.
Bad. But it was like a small batch, because I was doing a fat pheno hunt. So like I didn't stop with the jealousy, I just popped I did like 140 beans pheno hunt just now. So it's like a pretty decent sized room, bro. And I did like half the fucking room with the pheno hunt, like just fuck it. So it was like, especially with the tickets down, it's like, if you're not going to take that big of an L, then like now's the time, I guess. But yeah, like a lot of herms, bro. I ended up with like 80 something phenos at the end, like a lot of herms, bro. But like you said, as far as like in the beginning, I was a little butthurt. Like the people that bred it is the Bean Fiends, like Mobile J and Mid Master. I had like got a bunch of packs from them, and like I had a pretty high herm rate, bro. And I was a little upset, I had like DM'd them and whatnot. Like nothing crazy, like weird, nothing. But
yeah,
I was like, yo, like what the hell, And then, but by the end of the hunt, I'm like, yo, fuck it. Shout out to that shit's fire. Because I had quite a bit of herms too, bro. Like it was their first drop ever with seeds. So it's like, I'm not super surprised, like
super
still
beef crosses. Is that what it was?
Nah, that ain't
something
me, bro.
different.
I like my gas, bro. I probably wouldn't be popping that. It was, I had 3 packs of cherry sherb. It was a sherb cake crossed with a trop cherry. So I got like some wild ass terps that came off of those ones. And then I had a hot mess pack, garlic cocktail sherb cake. And then I had pressure pie, sherb cream pie crossed with sherb cake. Like some of the like gassiest gas I've had as far as like not an OG, And then, man, what else? I did pop some strawberry fritter S1s from Raw Genetics.
How'd those come out?
Fire as far as like hash weed, like it was a little too fritter. It was like super, it smells like strawberry lemonade, but like without the lemonade, just like a strawberry, like it's trippy, bro. Like super nice terps are going to translate to hash, I feel like. And, but not something I'm going to sit there and smoke.
Yeah, that was definitely like a hash strain for sure. Heavy hash strain. I saw a lot of strawberry come off of that rosin wise.
So I'm excited for those phenos as far as rosin, bro. That shit's going to be stupid. Like straight strawberry terps. Like we'll see how it comes out, when it actually washes. But like I just finished that hunt. And then actually the other day at you guys' party, bro, I met Doja Pack and I was just telling him how I pop seeds, yada, yada. And I don't know, bro. He just seen the light in my eyes when I was talking about seeds or whatever it was. He's like, oh, you pop beans? And then he pulled out this pack of seeds. He had like hella seeds with him and shit. And I seen some RS11 crosses, whatever. And then I seen like a ZBX too. And I like knowing how hot the Z is, I was like, bro, what's up with that? Like, and then he's like, oh, I'll give you some seeds, bro. Like if you have something to put them in. It's like I grabbed one of my jars with the weed, I poured it in my hand, gave it to him. Here's right here, bro. Like, and then he poured some in, whatever. And then he just looked at me. He's like, you know what, bro? He's like, just make sure if you find a fire ash keeper, like you let me know, And he fucking poured all the seeds in my jar, bro. Like 100 seeds of ZBX2. So like I didn't want to pop him yesterday and then have to like drive down here and something happens. So like literally when I get back home, like tomorrow type shit, like going to the paper towel, bro. Like, so on top of what I just hunted, bro, like that's coming. And like my boy fucking, probably not like just the hype nature of the seed drop and shit. I probably wouldn't have bought them myself, but like the burner, like seed to sale, when he did the album release with the seeds right there. I had a homie, shout out to him, One of One Exotics in Tucson. He had his homies go and pull up and grab the seed.
He did that with Bodie, right?
Yeah, the Bodie.
Seeds. I'm sure it's something special.
So we had like 4 packs or something like that.
Yeah.
I just haven't ran Bodie's gear.
That's heading in the right direction. I mean, and fucking shout out to Doja, man. And shout out to you because you're not a hater.
Yeah.
Like you're a real dude. And like you do what you say and shit. And I can back that up. You've always like, you're a good dude. You know what I mean? Since we've known you and you've met us through this project and stuff. And it's like, you know, so shout out to you, man, for not, you know, for being genuine with your actions and shit. And that's why you're getting blessed. And that's why you're seeing results. And that's why you got your shit on the table here. And we're doing this episode for real.
Yeah. I mean, the industry I come from, bro, you talk shit, whether it's internet, anything, like you will literally get beat up. Like these people will beat you up, bro. So like, you know, that ain't me. It's not how I grew up, bro.
I think when you're a fighter or you do some type of mixed martial or anything like that physical, you respect other men differently.
Oh, 100%.
Because you've been fucking slammed and your ass beat.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, that shit hits different. You know,
no, you get a group of MMA fighters together, everybody's chill as fuck, like quiet, like what, even if you get into a fight, like you're gonna sit there and fight for 15 minutes until everybody's got like broken arms and shit. Like people that know how to fight don't want to fight. Like hell no. You know what I'm saying? So just being a hater ain't fucking good for your body.
No, but that's dope. Though something's gonna come from those seeds for sure.
Yeah, bro. I was so juiced, bro. Like try not to be a fanboy. You know, I was like, fuck yeah, like hell yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize the level of curation that my brother Doja's got on this game.
Like
man,
I've heard this, that, and the other.
His tentacles stretch deep.
He comes off as like a very trapper character, like most media, yada yada. But when I actually talked to him, bro, and he started talking about the genetics and like this cross, that cross, this yada, like he knew what he was talking about, bro. And like immediate passion, like immediate, like I told him I pop beans. Oh, you pop beans and shit. I was telling him I do the pheno hunts, yada yada, and like, yeah, bro, I fucking take the L's and do the pheno hunts, you know, like.
One of the most passionate curators out there, man.
Nah, he was about
someone to look up to for any
he
brand.
Knows his shit. He knows good weed. He's always got good weed around.
Like I've heard people talk shit from the sidelines, you know, but when you actually meet the dude,
none of the real players though.
Like, bro, if you actually know your shit and you actually talk to this fool about some shit like this, like you know he's about it. Like you got to be stupid to, I don't know, bro. Like I'm not super fanboy, but just meeting him, like. You know, if you talk shit on him around me, you got to go through me first, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. No, you meet all these guys. We felt the same way about Sherbinsky, man. We meet him and I'm like, man, it's like, dude, like someone to look up to. Like, man, this dude's put together. He's badass. He's a great guy. He looks you right in your eyes. Another guy
shows up, does what he says.
Yeah. Just solid as they come.
Some real brotherhood shit.
Yep.
Some man shit though, most importantly.
Yeah.
Not unknown, you know. So, but yeah, man, fucking, where does it go from here, bro? What's the next moves? What's the next plays? I mean, we just got talking about those seeds. That's going to be dope.
Just fire drops, bro. Like I'm just focusing on the garden. Like the jealousy's looking really fire, you know? So just, you know, I'm still young in the grow game. So just trying to make every batch better than the last one, you know? I definitely want to like hone in on a couple things, you know, and just focus on that and try to keep doing fire drops and getting the name out there. Like the whole point of the brand is for people to like, when they get a fire ass batch from me, I don't want it to just be lost in the wind, you know, like some batch from whoever, wherever, like that was my shit and you smoked it, bro. So, you know, I try not to drop anything that I wouldn't want to smoke. You know, I want like people to fuck with it and be like a fan for life type of thing. Definitely, like for sure. That's
curate
like,
that keeper, man. You're hunting those keepers down. Find those few keepers and put them in mode. Full production. I know that some of these hash strains are for sure winning hash strains. Like that Bazooka Joe, the Trop Santo, what's the other one what are the other two?
I have the grapes and cream and the maroon baboon. Bro, honestly, bro, I killed the maroon baboon. It in flour, it just smelled too much like ice cream cake, bro. So I killed it.
It smells great in hash. It's crazy like that,
like
isn't it?
80% too close to ice cream cake, and it got the chop.
What is it? Big League Breath?
Big League Chew.
Big League Chew.
That's Big League Chew. I like that.
It was Bubble Gush was like the name of the seeds from Colorado, but I don't know, bro. I thought that was a cooler name. So
huge shout out Colorado, man. One of the best beers in the game for sure.
OG.
Yeah.
Super OG.
Yeah, I was looking at the lineage and I was like, oh shit, almost every 3 of the 4 were all Colorado.
Any advice for people that want to start and like want to get them a 5-lighter going?
Have another source of income. That's like the number one thing, bro. Like if
you quit your job.
If you get caught up right now, like needing the money for your run, you will get eaten alive. Like I will eat you alive. I need the money on those packs. Like you do not get desperate, you know? So like do not just, I have this packs and this is going to pay for my next run and my food. And like, cause not only do you have to sell it, like you're now rushed to sell it, bro. So you can't hold your ground. You're not going to have weed for 3 months. Why are you trying to sell your weed in a week? You know what I'm saying? Like it definitely has its period where it needs to be sold, but it's not a week. It's not 2 days. It's not, oh, my lights are going to turn off. I need to sell it right now. Like that shouldn't be your period. So you need a different way to make money for sure. And then like finding the right person and listening to like one person, you know, like you'll fuck yourself trying to like hella listen to hella people.
That part.
Bro. Like I went like, cause I already had good people to listen to for the most part. So even like going to the grow store and asking for help, like it really just hurt me, as you guys heard from like
fucking a bunch of
you know, if you got a good grower, like I don't know, bro. People at the grow store can help, but then at the same time, it's like, especially a couple years ago, it's like how much money you make selling weed. It's like, do you have to work at the grow store as an employee? Like, just do the math in your head, bro. Like sometimes, you know, like not everybody, bro. I'm not talking shit, but like you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like I know prices are a little rough now, but 2 years ago they were not rough. If you're growing off weed, like unless it's like the owner of the grow store or something like that, like, you know, they don't really need to work there if they're throwing down in the garden. For sometimes, you know, like not to speak generally.
So it's one source of information. That's why we're coming out with the Grow Your Own show with Big.
Yeah, find it.
Blackleaf.
This is always, I tell people DM me all the time and say that. They ask me like, hey, any advice? And the thing I always come back with is find a grower that you look up to, that you think does it the right way, that other people look up to, and make yourself of service, of use. Yeah. He will end up being like, because every grower that's trying to juggle a phenomenal grow needs help and needs extra help. So if you can somehow lend a hand, you'll get in there close enough to where there will be an exchange of information. If you're a good person, you will make yourself of service, and he's going to be like, yeah, you can do that for me, bro. See if you can get that done. And there's going to be that opening. It just might take a while. When you get that opening, then you start that relationship. And if you're a good person, you can build that relationship with another good grower. And they're usually an open book. Most guys, if you're a good person and we're friends, or you're friends after 6 months to a year, the guy's going to be like, this is what you do, and you need to do that. And here's the cuts, and let's get you going. Yeah. You know, it always is. You just, it's Jimmy Iovine's statement, make yourself of service or of use. It takes time, and it's the long road, but it will work out. Like,
yep.
No, 100%. Like I got help quick, you know. It's like I was like the young buck, so it's like I could move people's shit and stuff. So they'll help me out with the grow advice, you know, get a relationship going. So for sure.
Solid advice, bro. You're a solid dude. Your future's bright. I can tell you got grit, drive, motivation.
Where can they find you?
Yeah, where can everyone find you?
Telegram, Up the Hill exclusive. You know, if you're cool enough, maybe I'll send you the menu link, you know what I'm saying? But
what about Instagram? Yeah.
Instagram, Up the Hill exclusive. You know, we got all the clothing coming for sure. We don't smoke mids.com. So like that's like my main part of the branding. And I think it's a good time right now with the way people are feeling about having mids shoved down their throat over and over again the last couple of years, you know? Like it's a good time for me to like kind of stand on it, and like more than just a brand, it's like a movement, bro. People are tired of the mids. They really are. Like you go around the country, bro, like I'm out there, like I'm talking to random ass people, like they're like, man, I can't get no good weed. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Like it's so, like it is cheap, but it is hard to find good weed, bro. It's like a struggle. Like if you go to Oklahoma, bro, like I'll be in Oklahoma, like OKC or Tulsa, bro. Like, oh my God, bro. If you run out of weed while you're there.
They got it though.
If you run out of weed,
hey,
bro.
Man, look at this one.
While you, like if you run out of weed on your trip, like your fucking shit gets extended a couple of days. It's immediately like, fuck.
You're smoking hay or corn.
Bro, like you go to the dispensaries out there. Not that people aren't growing fire here and there.
Yes.
But you go to the dispensaries out there and they have like a cap. They're like, no. $20 an eighth is our cap. We don't have good weed. Like, we don't have it. Like that is, you drive around at $25 an eighth is the cap.
I'm good on that.
That's the issue with like the cannabis industry as a whole right now, is that model. We're just going to grow a lot of something.
Well, look, let's get out the boutique. Let's go high end. Let's go small batch and make it pop. You know, maybe one day you'll get to the $1,000 ounce. It's dope,
Dude.
Hey, no one's got me to buy $1,000 ounce yet.
Not
Maybe
yet.
someone will get me. I need to try the greasy
got something
shit.
for you.
I need to try greasy.
No, we did it. We did it for content purposes, for educational.
We had already
How's
talked
it
to me.
go?
We met up at the grow store and we're talking the other day, and I was telling we were talking about $1,000 ounces, and
He convinced me out of it. He's like, "Don't do it, bro."
well, he's like, grab me one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they come in 2-ounce jars. He's like, grab me one, and I'm like, and we were like going back and forth this and that, and I was like, man, I just felt bad, bro. I felt bad because he's a grower.
Nah, I need the elephant's growth though.
No, yeah, that's good. It's
I've heard that's the
Kush
one.
Clinic's got the
Living
plug
up,
on that.
living up to
He's got
it.
great batches.
Yeah.
The whole is it worth 1,000 an ounce? That's a whole nother topic. I think what is it, 800 is it or something?
No, Kush Clinic 1,000 ounce.
Right. So yeah,
But yeah,
really
from a homie,
800, yeah.
But the 41 smoking, I like that one.
I like that one a lot.
I like it a lot.
The OG's a lot. I like that a lot.
He's a
Like it's
great
one of
grower.
the only real OGs out here, honestly.
Yeah.
Not hating on that, but when you say $1,000 an ounce, for some reason, everyone gets pissed off. And it's just funny. To me, it's just funny. Like it doesn't bother me personally
No,
that
me
much
neither.
because like I can participate when I want. It's
Yeah.
novelty to me.
No,
But
I'm
like
not mad.
for a lot of people, they're like, what the fuck? Like,
I've heard people.
like
that's why I think I bring it up sometimes. 'cause it
especially
gets
right
people
now with the
worked
prices
up.
and shit.
Yeah.
People are getting
Yeah.
1,000 a pound.
Don't insult me.
Getting
Or
1,000
less.
is it. They're like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, let's not talk about
And that
greenhouse
shit's
or
funny as
something.
fuck, so.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh man. Yeah. The guys up north. Woo. Yeah.
Man.
Where we were talking about $20 ace in Oklahoma.
Yeah, dude, it's rough.
It's
I'd
an
rather-
interesting industry. I'll give it that. There's nothing else like it. People try to compare it to alcohol, or they'll compare it to pharmacy or this. It's like, no,
Nothing
it's
like
so
it.
craft beer. It's like, no, it's very different.
Not even close.
Yeah.
You can't like just scale it like that, bro. You can't, bro. The plant will reject you. It just does every time, bro. Like 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'm ready to go up the hill.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's fucking go see Bill.
Come kick it at the ranch, bro. I'll show you guys what's up.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We got to bring L up the hill, man. Black
Yeah.
Leaf.
Yep.
He thrives. He's going to take his shoes off and,
Yeah.
Yeah, now
start
when it's
running through the
110,
field.
he's gonna be like, yo.
put his toes in the soil.
Yep.
Not the sand. The soil.
Go grounding.
Yeah.
That's
Now
what
we're
the hippies
talking.
call it.
Dude.
Hella hippies up
Telling
there.
I got a little bit of that up in me.
Yeah. All right, boys. Well, shit, man.
Let's smoke some
Up the Hill
hash.
exclusive.
Yes, sir.
We're about to take a dab.
Yep.
Let's go.
get it.
We appreciate it, man. We're out of here.
Up the
First
hill.
smoke of the day.
Don't
You know the
smoke
deal.
mids.
We don't smoke mids.
Yeah.
Yo, welcome to the Diamond Mine. The DiamondMine.la, California source for boutique genetics, powered by yours truly, Blackleaf. And you know what that means? That means I'm bringing my best genetics into this. I'm bringing stuff I've been hiding, harboring away, stuff I haven't wanted to let out. We're bringing all that into the DiamondMine.la, and we're going to offer that to California. Go on our website, hit the newsletter, and see if you can rock with us. Get on board with some of our genetics and change your garden. The DiamondMine.la, powered by Blackleaf.